hello. Happy Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining me from in the world. Peeps, dreams can come true. One of my dreams came true this week. Nurse Joker, seamless rooted hair, rolling eyeballs, even though I'm not good at posing the rolling eyeballs. That was a surprise and a delight. Did not have that on my bingo card. Have to say, appreciate everyone who messaged me to make sure that I saw that. It's incredibly flattering that people see something and think of you. Like, I just, as I say, completely flattered. I had so many private messages of people going, "Did you see this? Have you seen this? Oh my God, it's getting done." So as I say, I appreciate everyone who showed it to me. I have to be in that first batch. I ordered it, like Kit put the post up and I had my order in within minutes. So surely I'm getting an early batch, but I'm super excited. Ekuaz Studio, is that how you say it? I'm not quite sure, but super excited. And just to add to the uniqueness of this week, we did not have any newsy news from Hot Toys. No announcements, no releases. And I think not having announcements, okay, I can understand we've just had events, they've had a lot of the Doomsday drops, but to not release anything, I feel like we've been very light on releases from Hot Toys. So I don't know, are we just going to get like hit with a ton of releases in a really short period of time? Are we going to start experiencing some delays again? Like, I really don't know how to interpret this, because I think, if I look at my streaming quote unquote career, I feel like I've been doing this for around 2 years now between Collectors Unite and my own solo endeavor. I cannot remember a week where there was no news from Hot Toys. It really caught me off guard that we had the one release of the Jack Sparrow last week, the week before we had John Wick. And prior to that, I feel like we haven't gotten a lot. Like, I know they've done a lot of the like limited or exclusives, and they've come out pretty quickly on announcement, but a lot of pre-orders that are starting to look to be overdue and approaching that way. And a lot of people wondering where Winter Soldier is. I am one of those people. Where's Bucky? So yeah, what an interesting week, but we still have a lot of newsy news, even though it was very weird to not have the Hot Toys logo on my thumbnail. JND launching a 6-scale statue line. We'll talk about that. The Man of Steel Superman figure from InArt went up for pre-order a couple of hours ago. We've got a bunch of news from third-party companies. We've got some Mars toys, got some SooSooToys. So we've got a lot to talk about. So will it be a 3-hour stream? I hope not. I hope not. I love you guys, but I hope not. We'll see how we go, because, your girl can talk. Maybe Shuri will join us. Who knows? Let me see who's here to hang out on this Friday. We've got Bobby Dillon. What a wonderful week for DC collectors. I mean, the sun doesn't shine on us often, but I feel like, yeah, it was a pretty good week for the DC collectors. I totally agree. Tiny Archive says, from one Bob to another, absolutely fantastic week indeed. 100%. Van Beanie's here live. Hello. Good evening, Helen. It's very hot and humid morning in southern Maine. Hard to believe you're experiencing winter. Yes, it was a very cold and rainy day today. It's meant to be quite cold and rainy this weekend. So I feel like I want to sit down and finally read the Supergirl trade paperback I got, Woman of Tomorrow, which the movie was based on. I've read a little bit of it, but I want to finish that off. So yeah, I've got my hot cup of tea, because it is cold. Oh, look at that. You can even see a bit of the steam. Literally made that 2 minutes ago. It'll be cold in no time, sadly. Akira's here. Hello to you, Akira. We've got Spectre. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Raymond is here. Good afternoon, Helen. Hello to you, Raymond. I hope you're doing well. I've got Meow Collector. Greetings, collectors. Well, greeting to you. And on the note of Meow, tomorrow is International Cat Day. International Cat Day. If you own a cat, I want that cat to get Lots of pats and extra treats tomorrow. Please and thank you. We've got Sterling's Fine Art. Good morning, Helen. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Figure Fan for Life. Good morning. Congrats on Nurse Joker. Oh, I'm so I only thought Topo was looking at it because Topo had talked about doing a Nurse Joker, but they had kind of asked the question of, would it bother people if it wasn't posable? So in my mind, I was like, thinking it was going to be like power pose Bruce Wayne. And I went, you know what? I feel like with that outfit, you really do want it to be as seamless as possible. So if that was what was on offer, I was willing to take it. But I had no idea. No idea. I don't think Ekuaz, I hope that's how you say it, I don't think they have any social media that I've seen or been able to find. They just seem to drop what they drop when they drop it. So, I mean, that Barbosa looks amazing. I'm hoping Joker will be amazing. It's not perfect. It's very, very good. And, you know, with the Nurse Jokers, we've only ever gotten third party. We haven't gotten one in many years. And even those third party ones, jointed bodies and many things. There's a lot I like about it. There is a lot I like about it. There's a couple things where I'm like, we'll see. But yeah, if it's anything like the Barbosa, I think we're in for a treat. And $324 US? That felt pretty good. Spectre says, Woman of Tomorrow is a superb story. I'm sure you'll love it. Yeah, I've only read the first section. And it was interesting to see already like the difference in the character design for Krem. And then also the sort of the backstory with Ruthie. A little bit different. And yeah, it's funny because I did like the movie, but seeing the comic, I'm like, would it have been better if some of those changes weren't made? I guess it's all academic now. We've got Anthony Stanfield. Hi all, Nurse Joker. Nurse Joker. Mike's here. Hey everyone. I remember plenty of weeks with dry spells from Hot Toys. I mean, it is what it is. It just makes those weeks a little slower as far as content is concerned. I can't think of a week where there was nothing. Like, nothing. Not an announcement, not a release, not a thing. I honestly can't think of one. Nobody owns a cat. Winman, how dare you? How dare you? I have cats. Costa has cats. Many people have cats. Renz is here. Good evening, Helen and chat. Good evening to you, Renz. I hope you're doing well. Bobby Dillon, what have you done? He's the nicest guy in collecting, and I don't say that lightly. It's true. I'll fight anyone who wants to disagree with me. Bob Dylan has gifted 26 Scale Shiro memberships, which is incredibly generous, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to find my media assets. And Bobby, thank you. That's incredibly kind. So congrats if you've been gifted a membership. You now get to see cat videos of my cat Shuri. What better way? Tomorrow, International Cat Day. Carve out 5 minutes, watch some videos of Shuri. That's just a gift on top of the very generous gift from Bob. Natalie Harris is here. Afternoon, Helen and Shuri. Happy Cat Day. I mean, she's just a couple of hours away. I'm sure she'll want extra treats. Probably not the extra pats. 14 Wellington's here. Hiya. Hello to you. Mike says, look at that. Nurse Joker now exists, even though it's unlicensed. It's for sale publicly. Yeah, look, I've said this a million times because everyone always quotes John from InArt who says you can't get the license to do it. Daniel from JND in one of his live streams said that wasn't the case. Who's right? Who's wrong? I don't know. But I'm getting Nurse Joker. And I'm very, very excited because my kit bash, it's done well. I've been happy with it. It hasn't ticked all the boxes I would like. So I'm very, very excited that it's going to get a glow up. Spectre says one of the main criticisms of the film was how far it deviated from the comic, which is widely praised. Oh, okay, interesting. Because as I say, in that first section already, I was like, oh, okay, a little bit different. So yeah, I'll be interested to compare the two. Oh, nobody owns a cat. Cats own us. That's I stand corrected. You are absolutely right, Winman. I'm pretty sure Shuri thinks she's my mother. sometimes she comes and grooms me. It's a bit much. Natalie says, do you think, Helen, because a company are doing nurse, will licensed company do it now? I don't think so. I don't know. And I don't know if it's the licensing issue or if just nobody wants to touch it, because I would have thought, and I've said this all along, like I know everyone's wanted to do a Joker, and I feel like a point of difference would have been to not everyone do Purple Coat and then everyone do Bank Robber. I think even the police Joker, I think, would have been really refreshing to see, but for some reason they don't want to go there, and I think it'll be really interesting to see. And I mean, I know we probably won't get numbers, but I think we'll get a sense from social media, like how many people are getting this. So I just feel like, given Hot Toys went to the well of like quarter scale artisan Joker before they entertained the nurse Joker. So again, I don't know, are they allowed to? Are they not? What is the situation there? Because as I said, I feel like we've had 2 or 3 third-party ones in the past, but I think this ticks a lot of boxes. Like, it ticks a lot of boxes of what you would want to see from a licensed company anyway. So, I mean, if they're not going to do it, I'm glad someone else is. Bobby, I think he meant no one owns cats. The animals just decide to let us keep acting as their servants. Yeah, Shuri's the boss. Everyone's agreeing. You can't spell homeowner without the meow. That's very true. It's very true. That's very true. Dr. No is here. Hi, Helen, Shuri, and fellow collectors. Hope everyone is doing well. Finally, a Nurse Joker. My end of year stream last year, I had my wish list. I've gotten most things from the wish list, which is amazing. Most things from the wish list have come true. So it gives me hope that someone's going to give me an Okoye one day, guys. It's going to happen. Okoye in the Dormelage outfit. It's going to happen. Mike says, I still don't get what the big deal is with this nurse version. I mean, I know enough to leave if a particular hospital is hiring nurses like that. I mean, yeah, and I mean, Harvey Dent not recognizing him is also another issue. But yeah, I don't know. As I said, I don't know who to believe in this. Maybe there is something to it, because I just don't get why, Hot Toys has been making Joker figures for how long? Like, why would you not go there? And even redoing the police Joker, I really don't understand. I don't understand why those 2 looks have been neglected. Like, if you don't want to do the nurse, I would have thought doing a really good police Joker would be a really nice point of difference. Unless you've got the DX1, they've only really had a quite old third-party figure that came out. Kyle Goodwin is here. Hello, Kyle. Hope you're doing well. Tiny Arc says, got the Flash and the Flash Batman modern suit in this week. Super happy. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. I've had many a moment where I've almost caved and bought the modern suit Batman. It looks very good. Van Beamy says, I saw Justin's updated review on the InArt Supergirl. She's looking good. I'm super excited. Yeah, I watched that as well. That video came out last night. Some very nice footage of the Supergirl figure. I think the head sculpt has definitely improved. I still wonder if the outfit needs a couple of tweaks, but it's looking better. The head sculpt definitely is looking a lot better. The hair in particular, the styling, the color. So I feel like I'll go 1-on-1, but I still haven't committed and actually pre-ordered either as yet. So I'll get there eventually. Raymond says, I like the expression on the Ekuaz Nurse Joker. Captures the moment he shrugs when the detonator for the hospital malfunctions. Yeah, and there were some cool photos. I did of the photos they did, I did feel like that was the strongest. I'll talk a bit about my thoughts and feelings when we get to that, because we got a lot of newsy news. Despite no Hot Toys newsy news, that's okay. Everybody else showed up this week, for which I'm appreciative. But before we get into the newsy news, of course, I want to say a big thank you to my channel members. I'm amazed I have one, let alone this big list of people. So I really appreciate you guys. And I already have seen so many of you in the chat this evening, which is, again, I just appreciate you guys so much. So huge shout out to the Broke Collector, AJ Agrusa, Pop Culture Living Room, Kevin LaFranc, Aaron Broverman, Tijuana Mike, Keith Lee, Valkyrie Magnus, Ms. Batwoman, Bob Dylan gifting the channel memberships as well, doing double duty. Blue Tattoo, Winman42, Blurred Dad Life, Moose Dream, Tiny Art Guy, Anthony Stanfield, Cousin Anthony at Figure Posing Channel, Ramstein Fan, Hawk Benji, Batman Collectibles, Gojo 2005, Big Rib, Starchild L7, and Raymond Collector. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm hoping Shuri will come by. I said to her, you're going to come say hi to the channel members? And she kind of nodded. So we hope she'll join us. SooSooToys, coming in July, almost July. They have they have completed their trio of X-Men figures. And, this is, again, part of their new approach of doing smaller batches, shorter release time. So it was the Sabretooth, the X-23, and the Storm. I believe her formal name is the Weather Manipulator, which is just a beautiful third-party name. And we saw, I hope I'm saying it right, Huang Wu, who tends to do a lot of their blogger pics for them, has shared some pictures of the figure, so it was really nice to get a look at this. I 100% thought of Luminara when I saw these. So Lumi, I don't know if you're watching. Would love to know what you think about this. I'm pretty sure you've got this on pre-order. Because when we saw the promo pictures, I think this was definitely the one that I thought looked the strongest. So we've got some pictures here of the figure and of the box. Nice to get a bit of a look at the box. You're right there, mate. You're just going to do your nails. Oh, and ironically, Storm, and it's now started raining again outside. So we've got a very typical SooSooToy style base, which I kind of like the consistency that they've stuck with that design the whole way through. The figure looks nice to me. I think it looks really nice. I think, as I say, the Sabretooth, I wasn't quite sure about, but I think X-23 and the Storm figures are looking pretty good. So I've just got a couple of photos there. She's got some little effects pieces. Her cape has a wire in it, which we always appreciate, right? Like a very striking outfit. I mean, my fingers are firmly crossed. There is no yellowing with this. I'm going to guess, looking at the fabric, that it's probably going to be a little bit different to things like the Kingpin, where, things have yellowed. So I'm hoping this one will be safe from that. Outfit looks really nice, looks interesting. I think it's come out really well. I don't know, is anybody getting this? What do you think? As I said, wanted to show the pictures of it. We've got a couple of closer up pictures of the sculpt here. I think it's a pretty solid release from SooSooToys. We were told that X-23, Storm, Supergirl, and The Last Guitarist were all meant to be releasing in July. So we got 2 of the 4, so 50% strike rate there for SooSooToys. But as I said, it's nice to see that this X-Men line that they announced has sort of come out in a much more respectable time window compared to all those Flash figures that I pre-ordered that I'm probably not getting till the end of the year, which is, what can you do, right? But I think she's looking pretty good. There's a bit of detail in this suit. I like it. Christoph the White, good morning. It's a brand new day. Good morning to you. The day's almost over for me, but I hope you have an amazing day. Akira says, pre-ordered quarter scale Joker, Nurse Joker, and Soups. DC eating good. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised Pop Culture got some stock of the Artisan Nurse Joker quarter scale. $1,000 dues. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. Actually, I've been very happy with the one I have. I mean, it's not got the features of the new one, obviously, with rooted hair and seamless forearms and all that. But even I have to draw a line at how many Jokers are we going to have, Helen? Because we're in double digits. It's a lot of Jokers, but that's a great list. Winman says, I sadly did not order it when it went up for pre-order, but I noticed that TNS had it up last week, so I grabbed her. Should be shipping today. I'm happy with look. Oh, nice. Yeah, meant to be $2.99 pieces. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But this is the thing, like a lot, like I feel like traditionally the SooSooToys figures are typically not in stock for long. So I feel like if you can be in that window where you're getting the photos and there's still some stock somewhere, that's kind of a nice place to be. So congrats on picking it up. I think it looks really good. Figure Fan for Life says, Storm looks good, not getting it though. Harry Potter and Hermione came in. They look great. Oh, did you see Figure Fan for Life? Mandy Burton has light up wands for her Harry Potter figures now. I saw Mandy posting a bunch of photos of the Harry Potter figures. And they looked really cool with the light up wands. That looks really, really nice. Spectre says anything but releasing the figures already on pre-order. I hear you, Spectre. I have Supergirl, I've got the Reverse Flash, and I've got the Season 3 Flash. And the last update I saw in the Giant Toys group said Q3 to Q4. They were meant to come out last year, if not the year before. So I know, Shuri, it's very frustrating. That's exactly how I feel. I don't know if everybody got to hear Shuri's little moan, but that's how I feel about it, mate. I have been waiting for that Supergirl in particular for a long time, wanting to set up my Arrowverse display, because I kind of have this vision of having the sort of leads from the different shows front and center, but can't do that without a Supergirl. I live in hope. I live in hope, Shuri. Figure Fan for Life says, wow, I'll have to have a look at her wands. I saw a bunch of her pics yesterday, but didn't notice that. No, she literally posted them. I know with the time difference it would have been super early for you. I feel like I saw them after work this evening, which would have been maybe 4 or 5 hours ago, which I'm pretty sure would have been the middle of the night for you. But Mandy has shared them, I think, on her Instagram and her profile. And yeah, it looks really, really cool with the light up wands. Raymond says, pretty good week despite Hot Toys quiet after the SDCC storm. Love the InArt Superman, Ekuaz Joker, and very curious on the JND statue, especially price. Yeah. I think that's the biggest question. So we're definitely going to talk about JND because I want to know what people are thinking. We're definitely going to talk a bit more about InArt Superman as well. Yeah, I was pretty sure you would have been a Sleep Figure Fan for life. But yeah, definitely check it out. Mandy's got some awesome photos of those Harry Potter figures. So as I say, just very quickly wanted to touch on the SooSooToys because I love a bit of third-party news. Love it. Do you know what else I love? Mars Toys. I feel like I say it every week. Mars Toys keeps surprising and delighting. Particularly in the Batman space, particularly in the 89 to 97 movie line. They drop these pictures and bless their hearts, they put things upside down and on funny angles. That's okay. We can rotate the images. They are doing a Chris O'Donnell Dick Grayson, as well as the 1966 Penguin. So the 66 Penguin, we've known that for a while, but I had no idea they were doing the Chris O'Donnell figure. They've kept that very quiet, and I love it. Hot on the heels of the Val Kilmer Bruce Wayne 2-pack. We'll have a look at all those new photos. And this is what I like, because they're like SooSooToys. They have said, we're going to look at doing smaller batches, putting pre-orders up when the figures are a bit more developed. And I mean, we've got boxes of completed head sculpts there. I'm not going to judge the likeness or anything till we get some better pictures. But the fact they're doing it, I did not think that was going to be a thing. That they would do, like them doing a 2-pack of the Bruce Wayne, I was like, this is amazing. I'm so happy. But for them to do the Dick Grayson as well to go with it, that is super cool. Mars Toys. And I know, like SooSooToys, they are very guilty of having a lot of figures that have been outstanding for a long period of time that people are going, when are we going to get that? I hear you. it's not ideal. And I'm also in that situation with pre-orders, more from a SooSooToys perspective. But I just didn't think we'd ever get figures of the characters that Mars Toys has been giving us. Alfred, Harvey Dent, Dick Grayson. You know, they've teased Bob the Goon, Jack Napier. They've teased Max Shrek. Like, you can really build out, like, if they come through with all these figures, you can really build out a really comprehensive 89 to 97 collection. And I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. So I'm very keen to find out more about this Dick Grayson. I'm not sure how far we are away from a pre-order going up. 66 Penguin, I'm pretty sure is already up for pre-order. It's already up for pre-order. So we're just seeing a little bit of the development of how that's coming along. So it's nice to get a little bit of an update if that is something that you have on pre-order. I know there's a lot of love for the Batman 66 line and the figures that Mars Toys have done. We got the Val Kilmer 2-pack went up for pre-order. Kit's post went up and it said posted 2 minutes ago, and Helen was on the site dropping the pre-order. I think this 2-pack was $190 US. For what you're getting, I was pleasantly surprised at the price. That's on par with things like their Riddler and their Two-Face. And if you think of those figures, one body, one outfit, yes, quite a few accessories, but this figure, 2 bodies, 2 head sculpts, you're getting the separate cowl to display, you're getting a bunch of different accessories, you're even getting the turtleneck. So you can have like 3 different looks for him with the outfits, a pair of glasses. Like, I just went, because we saw the photo last week, which was kind of the figure and the packaging, so it was kind of hard to really get a good look at it. But I'm looking at this going, it's a lot. It also answered the question of what was the cowl we saw. Sadly, they're not doing a panther suit. I did kind of wonder when we saw the cowl, are they doing a panther suit or is that just an accessory? So we've got the answer to that question. It is just an accessory. And what I'll be keen to know is these bases, because the picture had the bases like the Harvey Dent and the Let's Get Nuts Mr. W, which people have not liked, and I'm with you. I didn't mind the Gotham print, but the third-party name, just give us a clear base with the Gotham picture. These have different bases with the logo and that kind of split color, so I'll be keen. I don't know, is this what we're getting? Are we going to get like a sticker to put on there? But I thought it was interesting that there was that feedback about the stands and they have done something about it, because I know with their older figures, they have just been very simple, nice metal nameplate, which has been good, but just very simple movie logo on the top, which I think people are more than happy with. So I did wonder, looking at the bases, is that a little bit of Photoshop or is that actually new bases? Because if these were ready to go, as I say, are they just putting a sticker on the top? Is the sticker going to be in the box? We'll wait and see. But I saw these photos, and as I said, I was looking at this going, oh, this is going to be $250, $275, $190. Pleasantly surprised with that. Raymond says, I did see the images of the Val Kilmer 2-pack, didn't really feel the head sculpt, didn't think it was as good as the 95 Riddler and Two-Face. I mean, I want to see it in hand, but I mean, who else is doing this unless you go custom? And I do feel like their recent head sculpts have been pretty good. Like the Harvey Dent was really good. I think the Let's Get Nuts Bruce Wayne was a step up from their Mr. W, the original one. The Alfred sculpt is really good. So I'm hopeful that in hand this will be very good. Figure Fan for Life says, so many I want, not sure I can find space for more display cases. My 2 are reasonably full and I have 17 on PO. I hear you. I need to make more space in my display because I'm running out of room. Winman for Life says, this is an amazing price, especially for 2 figures. Right. Incredible. I was expecting this, as I said, $250, $275 wouldn't have surprised me, but all this for $190. if it wasn't for Nurse Joker, this would have been my MVP of the week. Like, seriously. Collection Obsession is here. I'm late. Sorry, I slept in. Hi, Helen. Don't be sorry. Sleep is important. But nice to see that you're here. Happy Friday to you. Mike says, I mean, I can tell that it's Val. It's not to Hot Toys level, but it's not bad. For me, the 6-scale companies need to work on 6-scale glasses if they're going to offer them. Haven't seen a good pair yet. Yeah, these don't look to me like they have lenses in them, which I know some people debate. It's better to not have them than to have them. As I said, I want to see these in hand because some of these pictures, particularly the ones that are more close up, to me didn't look that sharp. So I'm like, is that the photo? Is that the figure? I don't know, because I feel like the photos we saw from Topo, from Mars Toys, where you saw the sculpt like in the background with other stuff, it looked good. And when they showed the unpainted sculpt, that looked really good. So again, I'm like, is this soft photos? Is it soft sculpt? I do not know. Bobby says, Topo makes great glasses you can buy separately. Oh, there you go. I didn't realize they sold them separately. I know they sell their shirts separately, and shoes, the shoes. Although if they have that horrible ankle connection, why would you want to do that? Make more space. Please tell me what this secret is. I have unused surface that you guys can't see. I talked about this in my collection room tour. I think I'm going to make another garage display case at some point. I think that's where I've landed. I just now have to execute this grand plan that I have. Some stage this year, lol. Collection Obsession says, yeah, for $190, I'm definitely down for this 2-pack. It's amazing. Natalie says, I was tempted by this and Nurse Joker, but got to think of space. I can totally understand that. Let's take a look at some more pictures. We've got the riddle box. Very cool. Very nice inclusion, not just like paper envelopes. We've got the actual box, and you can see the little sort of tennis net and the rackets connect in and out. So you can have the box closed or open. That's very cool. Very cool. And we do have some of the Riddler's cards. We've got a few of the Batman accessories. So we're not getting the Panther suit, which I know is something a lot of people want. But we're getting some nice accessories to go with. Is it the Air? Is that what they called it? The Air, this is called? And you are getting the cowl, which is nice. I hope it does come with that little acrylic stand. That looks pretty nice. And it was cool that they did show us a picture of the figure with the Batman sonar suit. So nice to see how that goes. There were some other pictures that had Alfred in the background. To me, it looks like it scales pretty nicely with the Batman figure. So I do feel though with this suit, I like the turtleneck look. I always think of him in the turtleneck. So I think that's going to be trying to decide which look to go with. But options galore. Alex Thompson is here. Hi, Helen. Just got sculpted John Wick trying to put the knife on his left shoe. I'm jealous. I have no John Wick Chapter 1 yet. I can't offer you any tips because I don't have it, but I hope you get there. I always like to say the instructions are your friend. I'm probably the only person on planet Earth that reads them. But yeah, everyone's getting their John Wicks, and I have so much FOMO for mine. Raymond says, did you see the Jazz Inc blogger style photos today? It looks freaking amazing. I upgraded my orders from the clean basic Catwoman and DX Maya Penguin to 2-packs. I saw the pictures. The pictures look nice. I just want to get it now and see it for myself. Because there's things that I've talked about a few times about, I'm not sure about things like the stitching and whatnot, how it looks. So I kind of just want to get it now. Like, I mean, it's nice that we're getting some good quality pictures of the product. It would have been nice if we didn't get some of those Shonky Town pictures. The Penguin looked great at SDCC, but what I don't get is, did I watch everybody's coverage? No. The coverage I saw didn't really mention why was the sewer penguin not there Where was the sewer penguin? The mayor penguin looked really nice. Where was the sewer penguin? Why was that not there? Because that's also meant to be coming out in Q4. Isn't it? I think the penguin was their best looking figure at SDCC. That's my honest opinion. I think, to me, that one looked incredible. Catwoman, I'm waiting to get it in hand to see 100% judgment on it. But I also am like, I didn't put them in the streams. I'm like, I'm so done with talking about some of this jazzing stuff. I'm like, release the figures. Like, they posted this schedule of like all their upcoming pre-orders, like new pre-orders every month. And I'm sitting here. Why don't you release some stuff first, mate? Given I've seen multiple streams where there's been commentary about the pre-order numbers not being strong, why don't we release the Catwoman before we keep doing August pre-order for this, September, October, like literally. Figure Fan for Life says, nice accessories, hard to pass on the two figures at that price point. I need more wall space. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if people buy it and then sell one. I would not be surprised if you start seeing in BST groups people selling off one of them. Maybe this cowl is an Easter egg for what's coming next. I don't know, Collection Obsession, because they showed the cowl a while ago, and I did ask that question of, is this an accessory? Because they had shown the Val Kilmer head sculpt a while ago, or are they going to attempt to do the Panther suit? I don't know that they've done a figure like a full Batman suit. Like, when I think of Mars Toys, like a lot of the figures I think of are more like fabric materials. Who knows? Maybe they are working on it in the background. I have no idea. As I said, I think there's so many people that want the Panther suit. It's hard to know. The cowl looks really nice. This looks really nice. Figure Fan for Life says, I doubt I'll see my John Wick anytime soon. Have no clue when mine will ship. Me either. I'm hoping September, but I base that on just literally hopes and prayers, because we're about 2 to 3 months delayed in Australia between what Hong Kong has. So still waiting for Scarecrow, still waiting for John Wick. Only shame the 2-packs won't ship until January. The single packs will go out first. Fair enough. Mike says, I tried to give Kilmer a chance at his turn at Batman, but for me, Keaton set the bar that Kilmer just didn't measure up to. I can see why they didn't make any more versions of Batman after Kilmer. You know what? I did a couple years ago rewatch Batman Forever, and it was better than I thought it was. It's better than I thought it was. I feel Val didn't do too bad a job. I think there was much bigger issues, and their name is Michael Schumacher. Joel Schumacher. Michael Schumacher had nothing to do with this. Did you get the 2-pack? The Val Kilmer 2-pack? Yes, I did. It's on pre-order. I pre-ordered that, I want to say within 10 minutes of Kit posting that it was up for pre-order. Val is coming home, and I'll be pre-ordering Dick Grayson as soon as he goes up for pre-order as well. Natalie Harris says, same Helen, Jazz Inc. just need to release Catwoman so people can see it. And people say that in the comments of their group. Like, it's been said about the Penguin. It's been said about even the Wonder Woman. That's why I'm like, I just feel like such a broken record. I should just pre-record certain lines about them and just play them, because I feel like it's the same thing every week. And that's why I'm like, I can't keep having these same conversations about these same figures all the time. Alex says, thanks for the advice. Looked at the instructions. It worked. And now, yeah, I think I'm back. I told the instructions are your friends, everyone. I don't know why people, it's like when I unbox things live, like I really want to just look at the instructions and read them, but I realize that's terrible viewing. But I get a figure and I read those instructions. I also don't like to break figures, so I want to know exactly what the Donny do's and Donny don'ts are. We've got Austin here. Jazz Inc. reminded me of Chronic Collectibles. They took lots of pre-orders and went bankrupt. Oh my God, Chronic Collectibles broke my heart. Story time with Helen, why not? Let's go for a 3-hour stream. They showed at SDCC one year Ragnar Lothbrok from Vikings, 1/6 scale figure. I was so excited. Love Vikings. Love Travis Fimmel. Got a photo of Travis Fimmel somewhere with him somewhere in my house. And they showed it at SDCC, and I had no idea who they were. I followed them. I was on the bus. Give me Vikings. I wanted Ragnar. I wanted Rollo. I wanted Lagatha. That's what I would have been so down for those. And then nothing. And then they went, oh no, now instead of doing a 6 scale, like season 1 Ragnar, we're doing like an 8th or 9th scale season 4 Ragnar. Then they went bust. I got nothing. No Vikings. And now I think we're too far gone from the show to get that now. And I will always be bitter about that. So Chronicle Collectibles, boo to you. Raymond says, Batman Forever to me is a good action movie. Nothing wrong with it, just not quite the cultural impact of the Keaton movies. Yeah, I've said this before, and I know I'm going to get cancelled for my unpopular opinions one day. Jim Carrey overacts something chronic, and I struggle with it so often. I struggled with him at times in this movie. I think if he had dialed it down, for me anyway. But yeah, I think Val did well. I just think it was just, as I say, I blame Joel Schumacher. He was gifted the keys to something amazing and he ran it into the ground. Christoph says, sorry, I mean the Catwoman. Okay, no, I didn't order the 2-pack. I have ordered the Clean DX. So that's what I've got on the way for me. Mike's got his popcorn out for story time with Helen. Look, can we have a stream if we don't have story time with Helen? I don't think so. Dr. No says, congratulations, Helen. 2 most wanted figures up for pre-order for you. I know, it's been a big week. As much as I don't have my John Wick, I still have a lot of things to be happy about, and I'm very grateful. 3-hour stream, oh goodness, I have been... Saturday, Helen has not been loving Friday evening Helen of late. Oh, I'll give you that spoiler. Anthony says, the high-definition pics coming out of Jazz Inc. Catwoman looks amazing. I'm super excited now. I can't wait to get it. Yeah, I just want to get it in hand and see it and then form my final opinion. Because based on that, do I proceed with Penguin or anything else? I'm waiting till I get the Catwoman. Collection Obsession says, I finally caved and ordered the infamous Catwoman Deluxe Battle Damaged. Don't let me down, Yost. I mean, I hope not. I hope he doesn't let any of us down. Mike says, you're right, Helen. Jim's version of Riddler came off too comedic. It was just too much. It was more suited to like the 1966 style Batman to me. And I get it. They felt like they had to dial back some of the dark, gritty tones from Returns. But I feel like we went too far the other way. And then way too far down that road with the next installment. But anyway, we pretend that doesn't exist. Something that does exist, Man of Steel, Superman from InArt, went up for pre-order. We saw a few pictures of this last week for China Joy. Some interesting photos in convention lighting, what to make of them, what not to make of them. We've got some really nice high-res pics from InArt, so I thought we would talk about it again. Probably not as in-depth, but we'll still talk about it. Got some really nice photos, which I appreciate. I don't like it when we just get the videos because photos are a lot much easier for us. And straight away we can see, unlike Supergirl, Man of Steel gets a wide cape. Must be nice. Must be nice to have a flying character have a wide cape. What a treat. This looks really good. This looks really good. I think I was impressed with the photos we saw from the convention last week, even though limited photos, some of the lighting a bit sketchy. I just don't really know. I was going to say what you can critique about this. People are always going to critique things about this. People are going to critique the base and certain things like that. But I feel like what you're getting, and for the price, particularly compared to the price of the Supergirl figure, I feel like you're doing pretty well with this, Henry Cavill, Man of Steel. I think the likeness on both head sculpts is really strong. To me, outfit looks good. The proportions look nice. You're getting a drape cape and a wide cape. All the display options. A very simple base. This seems to be the way that InArt is going, which, I mean, I did like their diorama bases. I feel like it's a shame they've gone too far the other way. I don't know if they will return back to doing a bit more interesting bases than this. But you're getting a flight stand with it, which again is something you're not getting with Supergirl. So, I mean, am I bitter? Yes, I am a bit bitter. But look, let's focus on Henry Cavill. There is a lot to like about this figure. As I said, I physically think it looks great. I know a Superman figure doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but they're giving you, I think, a lot of key things. The wired cape, you're getting a flight stand. I think you're getting like the hand cuffs. You're getting some swap out hands. I like these photos with a bit of a lighter background, so we get a little bit more look at the details of the suit. It's got the sort of metallic body underneath the fabric, which I'm pretty sure is how it is meant to be. It just looks really good, and I just think it's interesting because Man of Steel wasn't the best movie, no, but I feel like there's still so much love for Henry Cavill, and a lot of people I've spoken to very excited for this. And as I said, I think the pricing of it's pretty good. It's not globally licensed. It's only licensed in China, Australia, and New Zealand. And we'll talk about the prices soon. Oh, hello, mate. Where are you going? You like Superman? Okay. Thanks, Shuri. That's really good input. Bless your little heart. Mike says, man, this Man of Steel is so tempting. I mean, look at that sculpt. Can InArt please do a Cavill version of The Witcher? Oh! The Witcher. Interesting, because I think we've only had some third party. We've got the mid shots again. Nice wide cape. Nice wide cape. Mario's here. Darth Profi. Morning, everyone. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you. Collection Obsession. Man of Steel Superman looks great, but I wish the suit was not quite as dark. Interesting. Okay. I am not the person who studies the suit and the pant prints to know that. I look at this and go, looks good. Only thing, and again, because I'm not an accuracy person, I don't know if the body should be as visible under the fabric as it is. That's more of a question than a critique. I'm sure there's people who study these things much more intently than I do. And if you're one of these people, I'd love to know what you think. Dr. No says, Man of Steel looks amazing. Missed the BVS soups. This is a definite purchase. I'm trying to remember if BVS soups is still up on Pop Culture. I feel like InArt figures are hanging around a little bit on Pop Culture. But yeah, as I said, I'm looking at this going, not a critique. My more question was, I don't know if the body should be as visible under the fabric. I got no idea. Everything else about this looks really, really good. Wait, Man of Steel wasn't a good movie. What version did you watch? I watched it in the cinema, didn't I? I was going to say, didn't I, Shuri? But you weren't alive, buddy. You were not alive then, little Shuri. Bless your heart. Big Rib is here. Hi, Helen. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, Big Rib. Happy Friday. I've got Chris Collectibles here as well. Hi, Helen. I'm excited and very happy for InArt Man of Steel. I missed out on BVS because at the time I didn't know how to pre-order it since we can't order directly on InArt's website. That's a shame to miss out for that reason. Yeah, you kind of have to know the Game of Thrones, right? Chris says, when I learned where to order it, it was already sold out. Oh, what a shame. I almost purchased it from Big Bad Toy Store, I think that is, at 700 plus. contemplated it for a while, and then when InArt teased Man of Steel on Superman Day, this is a grower piece for me. Yeah, am I right in thinking Big Bad Toy Store tends to typically sell InArt figures at an inflated price? I mean, I don't follow them intently, but I feel like I've seen the odd posting groups where people have shared some pretty interesting prices that they have listed for the InArt figures. I feel very lucky that Pop Culture is an official distributor now, so I can get it from them. But yeah, the licensing is a big thing for InArt, and I think for Jazz Inc. it's that North American distribution. They're probably two things that I don't know how much they can tackle that. I'm sure they're aware of it. How they get around it, time will tell. We got a look at the head sculpts. I think these look really good. Like, I don't know what you could possibly not like about this. I'm sure there's lots of people that will find things they don't like about this figure. But for me, I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good. It's a really good likeness to Henry Cavill. As I said, you're getting a lot with this figure. So, what's not to like? Thank you, Figure Fan for Life. Remember to hit the like button. It's free. I appreciate it. Got about 46 people watching. Hopefully 46 likes. I mean, we've seen Shuri twice already. That's worth a like. She's super cute. Big Bad Toy Store does inflate their prices. Okay, not just imagining that. Great looking Superman, just vastly prefer a lighter suit. There you go. Must be nice. Is that about pop culture and being able to order InArt directly? It's a surprise and a delight, I'll say that much. Heard a black suit Superman is coming. I mean, they've done all this work to develop the head sculpt, and they've done a great job of it. They've developed the body. I think that would make sense. I think a lot of people would like that. That would be cool. I love these infographics. I feel like I say that every time there's an InArt release, but I do love the fact that they break down the features of the figure for us. So let's have a little looky look at what we're getting. So we're getting two head sculpts with different expressions. I think both are really solid. I think both of these head sculpts look really good. We've got the bust accessory, which again, I think is really nice. So you've got that option to display the second sculpt, whichever one you choose as the second sculpt. It's even got the cape with it, which is very nice. We've got some hands. We've got the handcuff accessories. That's looking very nice. Chrome-plated and authentic suit texture. And as I said, it's my one question. It's not a criticism of, I don't know if that's meant to be as visible under the fabric, because I think this is the thing that stands out to me, is because when you look at the bust, obviously the bust is a solid piece that's been painted. So you don't get that same effect the way you do on the suit. And I don't know if there's a way you could have achieved that, given it is probably just a solid, I don't know, resin, plastic, not quite sure what they've made that out of. So that is the one difference I've kind of noticed between the two, but I think it looks very nice. And you're getting quite a bit. Let's talk pricing, shall we? Shall we talk about the pricing? So on the InArt website, as I say, they do not have global licensing for this, but they are selling this for $365 US. That does not include shipping. I still have not worked out the rhyme or the reason as to when InArt gives free shipping and when they don't. So $365 US, which is 271 Great British pounds, 316 euros, and 518 Australian dollary dues. Over at 16 Kit, where you can buy it, and their price also includes shipping, you're looking at $418 US, 311 Great British pounds, 362 euros, and 593 Australian dollars. Pop Culture didn't have their listing up, Shuri. They didn't have it up in time for the stream. Pop culture can be pretty hit and miss as to how quickly they do or don't get the InArt listings up. Like we saw with the Supergirl figure, they totally jumped the gun and listed it when they felt like it. So when the figure went live, it would have been like 10 p.m. for pop culture in Melbourne. You're right there, mate. You want everyone to see your magnificent tail. And they should, because tomorrow's International Cat Day. Look at that tail. Look at that beautiful tail. Do you like Superman? Do you like Henry Cavill? You do? Me too. He's pretty great. So for that price... Okay, you're causing an earthquake, dude. For that price, you are getting quite a bit. As I say, you're getting a display stand, you're getting a flight pole, so it looks like it has the same sort of connection mechanism where I guess you're opening up part of the suit to plug the connector into the back of the figure. You're getting their crotch grabber, which I still just don't like the look of the design of. A wide cape, so you've got both a drape cape and a wide cape. You're getting the bust for the second head sculpt. You're getting a bunch of hands and the handcuffs, and I'm not quite sure what that other accessory is because it's very, very small. I think for the price, like you're getting quite a bit. I mean, for context, like this on Kit's website is $593. Like the Supergirl is like $730. I feel like you're getting a lot more value out of this. It also just looks really, really good. Let me catch up on the comments. Collection Obsession says, this figure is one of the figures that needed the closed eyes head sculpt. Yeah, I've seen people make that criticism that that sculpt would have been a bit more fitting to this version of Superman. I still don't really understand why they pitched that for Corin Sweat. I wish they'd given us a smiling sculpt for that, but they didn't. What can we do? Maybe the oh, actually I was thinking the black suit one, but I think the black suit one would probably more have the red laser eyes, right? Mike says, I'm okay with this muted color scheme of the suit. Kind of looks like a red and black look, which I love. I skipped the red and blue Spider-Man just to get the red and black version. Yeah, I do prefer a red and black Spider-Man as well. I'm the same. Big Group says, for anyone interested, Underground Figures has InArt figures. No NRD. No NRD? It's crazy. Mike says, I'm still loving these busts. Hot Toys is falling behind by not offering these. Yeah, I think it is a really nice way to display those secondary head sculpts. Because otherwise they just look like, it feels very Game of Thronesy when people have the little acrylic stands with the heads floating on it. It feels very like head on a pike. AC Toyman says suit color is graded like the movie. Wish they had done both the graded and a regular color. Yeah, I feel like they're not doing as many SKUs anymore. Even, I'm trying to think of what they've released lately that's had a deluxe version. Like, even that is not as much as what we were getting in the early days. So, as I say, this is just me hypothesizing. I just think they're trying to get stuff out the door quicker, and we're just seeing less of that. Here's the rooted version. Here's the sculpted version. Here's the one with the diorama. Here's the one without. But I do wish they could do a little bit more of the bases, though. That would be nice. Speaking of Figure Fan for Life says, I like the base. A bit of visual interest, good price. The price is pretty good, I have to say. The price is always the hardest part of the conversation. I felt like this was priced pretty well. Lust Has No Mercy, love your cat. Thank you. She's a delight. Her name is Shuri, as in from the Black Panther movie. And she wants the world to see her magnificent tail. And I'm glad that people got a chance to see it when we're an hour away from International Cat Day in Australia. I like the figure. We'll be adding it to my collection well done InArt. It looks very good. Kit also includes duties and taxes, but from InArt you'll have to pay the extra for import. I mean, only if you're in Australia and New Zealand, right? I have to say, I do, even with the Jazz Inc. figures I ordered from Kit, because I knew I wasn't going to get hit with the goods and services tax, 10%, which gets charged to people in Australia. So it's kind of nice when you have that option to not have to pay those additional charges. Philly is here. This is coming home. Good morning, Helen and Jack. Good morning to you, Philly. Hope you're doing well. You missed the comments of people talking about your beautiful photos of the Catwoman. Lucky you having it in hand and getting a close look at it. Very jealous. Ermin's here. Right on time, Man of Steel. Your Malaysian Man of Steel is here, my sister. Okay, treadmill, by the way. I mean, Ermin, I just assume you live in the gym. Helen clearly does not live in the gym, but I'm just going to live vicariously through you, and I'm just going to picture you in the gym, eating chicken and broccoli, and winning the bodybuilding competitions, right? Figure Fanfly said that's a bargain compared to Supergirl. Must be the hair. Yeah, and the silicone body, which I still feel like the silicone body for Supergirl was overkill. I don't think it was necessary for that outfit. And when you factor in, you can't then have a wide cape or a flight stand. I know what I would have preferred. I would have preferred a wide cape and a flight stand. I don't think that outfit called for a silicone body. And even like Hot Toys is doing leather boots and InArt's not saying what theirs are made of. It's almost twice the price of the Hot Toys one. This is why I can't decide what I want to pre-order. Oh, sorry. These are all comments for each other. Rick's Figures is here. Great release from InArt. That bust is a night accessory, and the likeness of Henry Cavill is mind-blowing. InArt keeps improving. They've done a fantastic job with this. They really have. I hope they keep improving the Supergirl. Yes, I'm a broken record. Blow Dad Life is here. Hello. Hi, Helen. I'm quite interested in getting the Mars Kilmer 2-pack. I hope they go back to the nameplates. The Man of Steel is phenomenal. Makes me very excited for you. Yeah, it's interesting. We talked about the Kilmer before, and I thought it was interesting that their first picture of it had that, I don't know if you're familiar with the stands that came with Harvey Dent and the Let's Get Nuts Bruce Wayne, where it kind of had that picture of Gotham and the third-party name on it. And then the photos they showed, I was like, I don't know if they were different bases or they've just photoshopped the bases so it's more of the movie logo. No nameplates, which is a shame. I used to really like when they had the metal nameplates of the actual character's name. And I don't know if they've had some kind of sense of there being watched and worrying about the copyright. Because I remember Joao talking about copyright in China and talking about the issue being more the name than the likeness. So if you do a figure and it's very clearly a Val Kilmer Bruce Wayne, but you call it the Heir, oh no, it's someone completely different. Oh, you didn't use the name, you're fine. And I don't know if using the names on the display bases then didn't allow for that argument. But I said that, like, even if you're just going to do a no nameplate and just a nice movie logo base, I think that's better than the stand we got with the big Mr. D in the middle of it. Didn't love that. Didn't love that. Cause 2K. Hello, everyone. This Man of Steel Superman is amazing. Looking forward for JND Wonder Woman statue, especially the price. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that very soon. The JND venturing to the statues. Blow Dad Life says, I just got Nuts Mr. W last week. Not a fan of the base at all. I did use the Hot Toys Returns head sculpt for it, and I love the figure even more. Yeah, that Returns head sculpt is amazing. I keep debating getting the Let's Get Nuts Mr. W. I have the original one with the tuxedo. And every time I see pictures of the Let's Get Nuts version, I'm like, is that the better one to have? I keep debating. Knowing me, I'll make up my mind and it will be sold out. Hopefully not, but anyway. Speaking of JND, I think they've been a little bit quiet on the 6 scale front. But this week, they started drip feeding some announcements. So let's talk about it. A new Beyond begins. 6 scale Hyperreal movie series. Powered by Kojinworks. Beginning with Platinum coming soon. JND and Beyond. What's that little thing they all do? JNDs. And And there was the JND group where I feel like a lot more information was shared in their group than on their page. There was huge announcements, and I've just snipped the relevant parts because it was like, Dear Diary, today let's get the relevant parts. So this is the name of the group if you want to check it out, JND Studios Co-Limited Collectors Group. So this was from James from JND. So he does a lot of the posting on behalf of the company. And they were talking about, I guess, a bit of the background as to this decision. So they talked about like why looking at 6 scale for statues. And they said, after looking back at the data we gathered over the past 3 years, I've become convinced of one thing. One thing became very clear to us: compared to 3rd scale, the 6 scale market is far more price sensitive. At the same time, we also realized that the single most important factor in achieving a sense of quality is naturalism. That also helped us better understand why so many collectors, despite purchasing action figures, ultimately choose to display them in simple museum-style poses. And then we considered the preferences of JNDizers in particular. It became even more apparent that the pursuit of naturalism is something they value above all else. I know there are JNDizers amongst the 6 scale collecting community as well. And now I want to create products that truly deserve them, products that live up to their standards and earn the recognition of their discerning eyes. They sure are discerning. That decision is what led to the creation of our new 6 scale HMS, Hyperreal movie series, whatever it is. I've already forgotten what it is. So what exactly is 1/6 HMS? I'm so glad you asked. They gave us 6 bullet points. It's a product that lets you experience exactly what you saw when you decided to buy it. The moment you take it out of the box, no complicated setup, no advanced posing skills required. A product whose atmosphere can be transformed dramatically through nothing more than subtle adjustments to the neck and eyes. A product that pursues the highest level of natural realism, something that simply cannot be achieved when a design must prioritize action features. A product that gives us the freedom to choose the most suitable materials purely for the sake of achieving the highest possible quality rather than being restricted by durability requirements. A product designed to recreate as faithfully as possible the emotional impact that collectors have experienced with our 3rd HMS series, this time in 6 scale. And lastly, and for collectors who have fallen in love with the 3rd scale HMS but can no longer accommodate its size, it's a way to preserve that same experience while solving the challenges of display space. So, God, what a word salad. It sure is. Lots of word salad over on the JND group. It's fine. Hence why I didn't do the whole post, because we would have been here for another hour. And so what they're leading with is Wonder Woman. A Wonder Woman statue, which, I don't know, maybe just me, was a real 360 moment, because my first venture into 6 scale was through statues. I've obviously now gone into the figures, so I was like, oh, this is interesting that they're going into 6 scale statues, because I feel like it's not a scale that's hugely represented in statue form. And we got some early images of the figure. Look, it's a little bit dark. I didn't want to touch them up and do anything to them, so I'm presenting them as we saw them. So one of the teaser pictures we saw on the left, we got a really nice look at the hair, a look at the outfit, a bit of a look at the body here. And then today we got this sort of more zoomed out picture of the full figure. Quite an interesting little base here, which I think is very cool. And we can see she's coming with the essentials. She's got a shield. She's got the sword. I believe the sword is metal. The shield is not. But statues, I think, is an interesting approach. Because when you think about it, when Hot Toys has done figures like this, you inevitably have some kind of ugly joints. The normal sort of culprits are things like the ankle joints, and particularly when she's got these open sort of sandal boots, it becomes very visible. It's a bit of an eyesore. Typically, sometimes with the hands connecting onto the body, you can see a bit of wrist peg sometimes. And we know that some of their Wonder Woman figures have had some issue with the quality of the material used for the body. So it's interesting because they've kind of said, we're going to use this in certain situations. So not everything 6 scale will be the statues, but where we think that's the better option, that's how we're going to go. And it's an interesting approach. And I can see some validity to their argument. And it's interesting they talk about price sensitivity, because I think that's the biggest question on everyone's lips. How much is this going to cost? Because the KojinWorks figures, they've been pricey. They've been a bit pricey. So where is this going to land, I think, is the biggest question on everyone's lips. So we did also get a few close-ups of parts of the body. And it's interesting because you look at it and you go, like, there is realism here, like looking at the elbow joints, looking at the back of the knees, looking at the forearms, even just the skin tone, the paint color. Like, I was like this looks good. Like, to me, I think this looks really nice. So as I say, it's a very interesting proposition. And do you know what Helen wants them to do? Ballerina. Ana de Armas ballerina, please. They did that incredible 3rd scale statue. Could you imagine if they do red dress ballerina as a 6 scale statue? My one question, aside from price, and I don't know how you feel about this, guys and girls, my other question aside from price is, how well will this display alongside 6 scale figures? Like, is there going to be a huge difference in, like, the skin tone? Will there be a big visual difference that makes you feel like you can't pose them with figures? Because think about it. If you're going, this is the Gal Gadot I want, I'm getting InArt, or I've got InArt Cavill, I'm getting InArt Batflake, this is the Wonder Woman I want. Are they going to look like they belong together? And maybe that's not the best way to phrase it, but I hope you're getting what I mean. Because typically when I've had statues, I've not felt like they've meshed in bigger displays with things like Hot Toys figures. So I think that will be interesting. But man, if they do the ballerina like this, that's going to be very tempting. Asterisk, price pending. But yeah, as I say, I looked at this and thought, there's definitely realism to this. And then a bit of a look at the outfit. And as I said, like, with things like the feet having big, ugly ankle pegs is a bit of an eyesore. We've seen with other Wonder Woman figures the sort of peeling, split underarms, like having this all as one piece in what I think is a pretty nice pose for Wonder Woman. It's not particularly actiony, but I think you'd call it a nice character pose. But price, where is this going to land? Because there's a part of me going, some of those KojinWorks figures are $1,000 plus in Australia. Are we talking more or less than what we've seen from the KojinWorks figures? That's something we don't know at this point in time. So a little bit more of the Dear Diary from JND. So this is from their Facebook page. So they lost control of their own old Facebook page. So you want to make sure you're following the one that is just called JND Studios, not the JND Studios Proprietary Limited or whatever the other one was called. So this is where we got the full statue, not figure, picture today. Powered by KojinWorks. This Wonder Woman features KojinWorks concealed articulation system and magnetic eye movement technology. While the default presentation is a museum-style pose with a forward-facing gaze, these two features allow you to create completely different expressions and moods with only subtle adjustments. The attached image demonstrates examples of the subtle changes made possible by adjusting the eye direction and the neck position. As you can see, the collarbone and surrounding neck area transition naturally along with the movement of the neck, further enhancing the overall realism and sense of depth. Through this carefully engineered mechanism, the figure maintains the natural appearance that defines Kojin works while allowing a remarkable range of expressions and emotions. To achieve the detail comparable to our third scale products, the painting, hairstyling, eyelashes, and many other finishing processes have been executed using significantly more sophisticated production techniques. Because this product is not constrained by action figure articulation, our production goal is to deliver the same level of realism and production quality collectors have experienced from our third scale HMS series. We're committed to delivering a final product that you will never regret adding to your collection. Thank you. Thank you. And it's interesting because they're doing things a little bit differently with this pre-order. Whereas normally they have like a numbered release and they sell out pretty quickly. So this is James, who is, speaks on behalf of JND. Sorry, we'll stop the war and peace of JND soon, but I wasn't sure how many people saw this background, so I thought I would share the information that I found. So James says to a member of the group, this being the very first release of our HMS lineup, we plan to accept pre-orders throughout the full 2-week pre-order period. So a bit different, because normally it's numbered. When it sells out, it sells out. So they're doing a bit more of what we've seen with InArt, where they do a timed pre-order, not a quantity pre-order. That said, of course, we do have internal maximum production capacity, so we won't be able to produce unlimited quantities. If we reach our internal production limit before the end of the 2-week period, pre-orders may close early. If the response is anything, blah, 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 they'll sell out in a single day, ha, ha, ha. They're confident. That said, we want to give as many collectors as possible the opportunity to secure one with confidence during the pre-order window. It could end up being a relatively small edition or a fairly large one. We'll just have to see. As for different versions, we have no plans to release other Wonder Woman in the same costume. However, versions such as Golden Eagle or Linda Carter's Wonder Woman could certainly be possibilities in the future. That would be interesting if they did a Linda Carter. The shield and sword are both removable. The shield will also come with a dedicated display stand. Yes, the sword is made of die-cast material. They did also mention that they are sending this to the figure hideout. So hopefully we'll get a bit of a preview from the figure hideout. Because we all know he does wonderful videos of figures. So let me catch up. There's a lot of comments. Let me see what you guys have to say. Anthony says, I don't understand 6-scale statues. If it's 6-scale, I want it to be posable. You know what? As I said, my gateway into 6-scale was statues. And I have to say, part of what they said rang true. I loved with the statue that I took it out of the box and it looked great. Didn't have to pose it. Didn't have to do anything because posing can be intimidating. I still find it intimidating at times. That said, statues are scary because, if you drop it, it's broken. Whereas sometimes if you drop a Hot Toys figure, it's still okay. So swings and roundabouts. Let me find. This is my last little photo. I thought I'd chuck up a picture of the InArt Wonder Woman versus the JND. And I know InArt's talked about they're going to improve their Wonder Woman. Straight off the bat, I have to say, the likeness on the JND one's looking pretty nice. And I do feel like the body proportions, I think, are nicer. I think the InArt one looks a bit too muscular. Maybe that's just me, but I'm looking at this going for a first picture of the product. I think the JND one's looking really nice. Figure Fan for Life says, so it will be 6-scale statues. Wow. James Park, if you're listening, Eve Macaro statue, please and thank you. Tremble Dust is here. Hey, people. Hello, Tremble Dust. Actually, that's not a bad idea, 6-scale statues. I really loved my 6-scale statues. The only thing that frustrated me was there seemed to be so few of them because DC Collectibles used to release 6-scale statues. I had 6-scale Man of Steel Superman and the black suit version and Stephen Amell Arrow and like Dark Knight statues, and I loved them. They just didn't seem to produce or go that deep into line, so it became frustrating because I wanted more and they didn't have more to give me, and that's kind of how I ended up venturing into 6 scale. So as I said, I can understand the rationale, but I think the big thing is going to be, what are you pricing these at? Because I think that's going to be pretty make or break as to how mainstream these statues become. Calls 2 cases. I love it. It looks pretty good, right? Trembledust says, personally, I like to pose my figures. That's why I go action figure route. But again, this is not a bad option because there are plenty of people who just pose their fixed vanilla. Hi, that's me. I do my best though. I try to bully cousin Anthony into helping me pose things better. Trembledust says, if it's cogent, making it semi-posable would be cool, like Queen's 3rd scale Hulk. I don't know how much that poses. This sounds like neck and eyes is all you're going to get with this line. Maybe that's enough. Calls 2 cases, I hope they do Daenerys. Oh, Daenerys would be another cool one. Blue dress Daenerys, white dress Daenerys. And this is the thing, as I said, I think at first you might be, oh, a statue, but when you start thinking, I think particularly of some of the female characters, because as I say, that 3rd scale ballerina statue they've done looks incredible. And I was going, can you do this through Cogent Works? I never even had statues in my mind, whereas now I'm going, ballerina, red dress, walking pose, I'm there. Pending it not being $3,000. Mike says, I mean, I can see this working for museum poses, but again, what is it going to run cost-wise? That's the $64 question. So would it be cheaper as it's not posable? We don't know, Figure Fan for Life. That's I think the big question mark in all this is, what are these going to be costed at? I haven't seen anything to talk about price. I know some conversations I saw in groups were debating, do we think this is going to be more than or less than $1,000? I don't know. The Cogent Works 6 scale figures have been pricey here in Australia. I'm hoping these will be cheaper, but we don't know. Collection Obsession says, if the head position and eye gaze can be adjusted for this Wonder Woman, I would definitely be interested. Yeah, magnetic eyes by the sound of it. Magnetic eyes and moving neck. Figure Fan for Life says, I'm going to need a Wonder Woman. Wasn't sure about getting the InArt. Look, I've not loved the look of the InArt. Even when they said they updated the sculpt, I didn't know that they had. So I can understand people not being sold on that. I don't know if it's a global license either. I know it's still up for pre-order at Pop Culture. So for me, yeah, I think this JND one is looking really, really good. Spectre says, I do find myself getting bored of poses and love altering them to freshen up the shelf. So this isn't really something I'd be interested in. That said, it's not a bad idea. Mike says, so it sounds like this should come in at 120. If that's the case, then I'm sure. What currency and how many zeros are you missing? Figure Fan Fly says, it looks like rooted hair, so it will still be expensive, I'm guessing. Yeah, definitely rooted hair. Definitely rooted hair. Billy says, Helen, you should try photography. Posing and photography go hand in hand. They do, and I have to be honest, I'm very guilty of being lazy and using my phone for pictures, which is a bit silly because I actually have quite a nice SLR because I do, one of my other hobbies is sport photography. So I really should do more in that space. It's funny because as much as everyone likes the rolling eyes, I feel like I really suck at posing them. So I need to do that. I did do that with when I got the Jackson cowl for the quarter scale Batman Begins. I actually got my SLR out and took a few photos, and I did notice they were so much crisper and better than using the phone. So I need to get better at making a bit more effort with my photos. Dr. No says, great idea from JND, price pending. 1,000% with you there, 1,000%. Mike says, yeah, I have to give it to JND. They definitely know how to nail a likeness. Seeing this is making me regret my InArt PO. Oh, maybe they'll improve it. I hope they improve it. I got my fingers crossed. Meow Collector says, no fun in 6 scale statues. That's not true. Come on. Akira says, I like the idea of 6-scale statues. It's something different. I barely pose my figures anyway and always go to museum poses. That says it depends on price. If it's nearly double InArt, not worth it. I agree. Tremble Dust is like 120 for the shield. Yeah, that's probably what I'd be at. The shield and the stand you can get parted out for 120. Danny's here. Hey, Helen. Hello, Danny. Happy Friday. How you doing? Dolly Harrianto. I hope I said that right. Head sculpt looks great, but still a bit weak, just like their 3rd scale statue. Can't wait for the full reveal. I mean, if this is weak, I'm still happy with this. Again, we haven't got a lot of photos, and they're a bit dark. But I have liked what I have seen from the old JND, and Lord knows, I've been very critical of JND. John Wick, aka Yannis Wikopoulos, says hi. Akira says, I'm worried though, JND have been hit or miss in their 6-scale line. Those Harry Potter figures were, yeah. And this is the thing, because we've talked about it a few times with the silicone head sculpts and the need for a lot of like structure in the skull underneath the silicone, and that being a reason why some of them look very soft. And that's another thing you're getting around. A sculpted statue, different ball game. Because even their Christian Bale Bruce Wayne looked really soft to me. The John Wick figures, who are they? I don't even know who that's meant to be. But then the Harvey Dent looked incredible. Their Harvey Dent looked so good. So I think this was the interesting thing, even with their Joker. They kind of showed us an image at one point to show how the skull under the silicone had really reduced in size. And I do feel like that becomes a problem and you lose some of the detail when you don't have that structure underneath the silicone. I sounds totes profresh, don't I? Blurred Dad Life says, I have a love-hate relationship with my Hot Toys Wonder Woman 84. Really? But it will likely be my only version of her for now. I have to be honest, I pre-ordered that and then cancelled it. I did like the appeal of the sculpted hair, I'm not going to lie. Philly says, would like to see some of your shots in your next show. Would love to see your work. It's so much fun and relaxing. Look, I feel like I probably need some better lights. I need to look into things like that because the lights I'm using, I don't know if they're the best. But yeah, I want to be better in that space. Anthony says, there's no denying it looks great. Knees and elbows look good, but how much are you paying for those? We do not know. We do not know. Danny says, happy Friday to you and all in the chat. I'm around the corner from Saturday now. Figure Fan for Life says, yes, I have the InArt Harry Potter line and they knocked it out in contrast to JND. Yeah, I think the InArt ones look a lot stronger. Include Shuri in the shots. That'd be cute. Look, Shuri gets involved when I set up the lights to photograph something or to record something. She's there. I try to include her in the outtakes sometimes, but she's my creative director. Chris Collectible says 6-scale statues are a great idea for people that want 6-scale and realism, but with the sacrifice of articulation. I think if it's the right pose, and I mean, the talk of space is like not invalid. Like, you know, I've not been to Korea, but I know in Hong Kong, real estate is really expensive. A lot of people living in apartments. Not everyone can dedicate a whole bunch of space or a room to their collection. So if you're like, I can't keep doing the 3rd scale, like, and this will be interesting. Will this more appeal to their existing statue customer base, or will this entice more 6-scale collectors to buy from JND? Austin's here. Hey, Austin. Hello, Helen. Wonder Woman looks good. Yeah, I think JND's done a really good job with this so far. Dolly says the best Gal Gadot Wonder Woman is still the Infinity Studios life-size bust. The head sculpt is literally Galdo. I mean, life size, you've got a lot of canvas to work with, right? So I like the quarter scale. I know it's not the same, but I feel like more size, more space, more detail you can put in there. So guys, watch this space, JND. Again, James Park, if you're listening, the ballerina in 6 scale, please and thank you. Helen would be eternally grateful. Guys, we gotta talk about, is it Ekuaz Studio? I hope it's how you say it. Ekuaz Studio X Echo Design. Did not expect this. I was so happy. I was worried at first when I saw this because there are accounts that do AI generated images and they make them look like the Hot Toys announcements. And I feel like they did that with the Nurse Joker. And I'm like, stop it. Because all you're doing is getting people's hopes up and then breaking their hearts. I don't like the AI, let's pretend it's a Hot Toys promotional image. No, please don't do that to me. So when I realized, oh, this is a thing, it's happening. I was very excited. I will say up front, there's, hang on, we've got one more comment on JND. I mean, I may be hypocritical giving JND some crap because I tend to set my figs in a pose and forget it, but it's going to be the right pose, as you say, Helen. 100%. I think with the right character pose, it can work. But as I said, my big thing is if you're going to put that in a display with Hot Toys figures, is it going to blend well or is it going to stand out as being something completely different? That's what we kind of don't know. Austin says, I don't know that facial expression. Hopefully it comes with another head sculpt. Do you mean the Joker or the Wonder Woman? Empty Proxies here. Echo Design is 2 for 2 with their pirate figures. I have high hopes for this. I have high hopes for this as well. Austin, if your comment was about this Joker head sculpt, that's the bit I'm a little bit iffy on because there's some pictures that I think it looks questionable and there's other pictures where I think it looks really nice. So I think this was $324 US on Kit's website. I did pre-order because I looked at the big picture of what we're getting and I said, I'm willing to spend that for what we're seeing here. So we've got the Joker, as I said, some of these pictures, I don't love the way the sculpts looks. In others, I think it looks better. So what are we going to get? As I say, I'm hoping we get Barbosa level. I know with Ekuaz Studio, they've actually been around a bit longer than the Barbosa. Like I was talking to cousin Anthony about this and he was saying they did like the Squid Game figure many years ago. Like when I looked up their company on Kit's website, there were a few other figures there. So the Barbosa was definitely not their first figure. They've been around for certainly longer than I had thought they had been. We got a lot of pictures of this. And as I said, there's some angles where I'm like, I don't know if it's just that particular angle or sometimes the eyes look a bit, I don't know. But there's some shots where I'm like, okay, this sculpt, nice. There's others where I'm like, I don't know about this expression. We are getting rooted hair. We are getting rolling eyes. They're 2 big ticks in the box. A silicone body for this, I think is really important because you look at the dress with the open neck, you don't want to see a joint. And this is where the third-party figures we've seen in the past have been, hey, Shuri, a bit not great because most of the Joker head sculpts you see have a neck. Seamless bodies have no neck. So what they've typically done is they've used a sculpt with a neck. They've just connected it to the body and then they've given you like a t-shirt. Hey, Bubs. A t-shirt for underneath the dress. Which, again, is not ideal. That's how I've had to do my kit bash. But having the seamless body means you can have a beautiful tail like Shuri. The neckline there without having some undershirt. You're not seeing a connection between the neck to the body. It's a big plus. You're not seeing jointed knees. You're not seeing jointed elbows. Really, to do this well, I do feel like this outfit calls for a seamless body. So I was very happy to see that choice has been made. And there's pictures of the body itself on Kit's website. You can buy it on its own. It looks nice. I know some people have gone, it's too muscular. When you see it on the figure, I'm not looking at this figure going, it's too muscular. I think it's looking pretty nice. The hands are, I think they're more of a PVC plastic, and there are some pictures where it looks like there's a bit of a difference in the skin tone. I'm hoping it's not going to be that much of a difference in person or with the final version of it. So they're actually not giving you the silicone hands. What I do think... You're right there, mate. I don't know if you guys can hear that. She's going nuts. But I do like that they've sculpted the hands in a way that they're covering the wrist peg. Sometimes with the hands, you'll see bits of wrist peg. So the fact they're fully covered, I'm going to take as a win. Another thing I'm going to take as a win, which again might sound like a silly thing, but that Harvey Dent patch with a lot of the previous third scale figures was a sticker. So what does a sticker do over time? It doesn't stick that well. So the fact that this actually looks like it's a patch or it's sewn into the outfit, again, it's another one of those small details that I'm a big fan of. The name is not the correct name. I'm pretty sure the name badge in the movie says Matilda, which is Heath Ledger's daughter's name. I don't know if that's coincidence, what that is. The name is different. I think that's a thing that I can kind of live with. You're getting all the key accessories. You're getting the detonator. You're getting the pen. You're getting the nurse's watch to hang from the pocket. We're getting some guns. I know some people say they're not the accurate guns. I don't study the guns. I don't know. But as I said, there's some pictures, and I think particularly the picture in the middle is where I go, okay, this looks nice. Worst case scenario, you put the mask on. I hope it's not going to come to that. But as I say, while I've got a couple of things that I'm watching out for, the offering overall, I think, is really solid. And there's a lot more pros than cons for me in picking this up. As I said, I'm super excited. I've got it on pre-order. When I get it, I'll unbox it with you guys. I'm really keen to see what the final product looks like. But as I said, I had no idea this was in the works. So this was just, yeah, I was like, dreams do come true when I saw this. I was incredibly excited. Let me see what you guys have to say. Winman says, for the record, I absolutely hate the accounts that make AI-generated figures. Me too. They fool me every damn time, and for 10 seconds I get excited, then I'm upset. I've blocked a few already. Me too. I've had people send them to me and then go, oh, I'm so sorry, this is AI. And even on Instagram, where you have like the discover section and it shows you, and they make them look like the Hot Toys announcement photos. And you've got to look all the way in the caption. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of those dupe photos. Don't do that to people. Mike says, I've heard some criticisms of this Joker head sculpt, and that's fine, but it's good for the initial reveal shots. He makes weird faces throughout the film. This look may not be for everyone. Yeah, and this is where I'm like, I feel like I probably need to pay a bit more attention to the expressions during these scenes. As I said, I look at some of these detonator shots and I go, okay, there I'm like, I'm liking the look of it. In some of these close-ups, I'm a bit like the photo on the left and in the middle, I'm a bit dubious of. The one on the right, I like a lot more. So this is where I'm like, I don't know if it's just, it's going to look stronger in some positions than others. Is this the final? Are they working on it? I don't really know. But as I said, in some of these photos and some of these situations, I went, yep, if I can get it looking like that, I'm happy. And worst case scenario, she wears the mask. I'm hoping that's not what's going to come to. You get the files. You get the funky socks. Got the slippers. There's a lot to like about this. Empty Proxy says, yes, Ekuaz has been around, but when they collaborate with Echo Designs is when they step up a level. Oh, really? I have not heard of Echo Designs before, so that's good to know. Austin says, yes, my comment is about that head sculpt. If they have another one, cool, let's go. I know you saw the new rooted hair John Wick. I know that's your guy. I thought of you. Yeah, he's my guy. I'm just going to wait a long time for my guy. He's my other guy. Out of all I have so many John Wicks and Jokers in my collection. It's a little bit crazy. But this one's coming home. Dolly says the AI Hot Toys figures are the best. Makes you wonder why they haven't used AI to do head sculpting. I mean, maybe that's the future. Collection Obsession says this is the expression he makes when walking away from the exploding hospital in the background. Yeah, as I say, it just looks better in some of these photos than others. In some of them, I'm a bit like, no, but in others, it looks better. Natalie says, Shuri's magnificent tail. I know, right? She wanted everyone. She even got a little face up here. Where's Miss Batwoman? She loves a bit of Shuri. Shuri's making all the cameos for International Cat Day. Akira says, I think Joker looks pretty good. Only flaw I see is how the hands transition to the arms. The arms look too smooth compared to how detailed the hands are. Yeah, and the color. And this is what I'm saying, like, in some pictures, and certainly these ones where you're seeing more the palms, I'm not noticing that difference in the color as well. But in some of these other photos, it looks like there's a much more noticeable difference in the color of the hands. And as I said, when you look at the product description, the hands are made of a different material. So it will be interesting to see what the difference is between the two when we get it. What's mine? Yeah. There's always the mask worst case scenario, but we hope that doesn't come to that. Anthony says, I liked this was a different expression than all the other Jokers, just missing the orange wig. Yeah, a lot of people I've seen comment about the orange wig or the kind of brown hair wig. It's funny, I have that. I'm very fortunate. Bob Dylan, because he's the nicest guy in collecting, gifted me a sculpt with the brown hair wig and the mask and all that. And then when I did my kit bash, I was like, I kind of just wanted the Joker hair. So for me, I'm not mad about that. I think it would be cool if they maybe, like they've offered the body separately, like maybe they could offer that sculpt separately. So if you want it, you can buy it as an add-on, but if you don't, you can just buy the base figure. Like that might be a cool thing for them to consider doing. I don't know if that's something they have done in the past, but I did think it was cool they were offering the body, but the thing to note about the body they're selling separately is that doesn't include hands and feet. So that is something to be a little bit mindful of. Costa's here, Kalimera. Don't forget the Crocs are wrong. Yes, I've seen people comment about the Crocs. They do look a bit more like, they kind of look a little bit loafery, don't they? But yeah. But no, I see you and Winman are going, are they meant to be Crocs? On the third party one I have, they definitely look a bit more Crocs style. But as I say, I'm like, I'll little things like that I can live with. When Mike says, not sure if this was said, but other great addition to offer with this would have been the orange or whatever color wig, another head sculpt with the wig look. Yeah, as I said, I think that would be an interesting thing for them to offer as a separate add-on. As I said, for me, I actually think I prefer it like this. As I say, I've got that sculpt and I haven't used it with my kit bash, so I think I prefer it looking like that. Dolly says, I checked the reference photos. The Crocs are accurate. And he's wearing those funky socks. Never noticed that. Okay, the shoes are accurate. The socks I have noticed because I think that's one thing the third-party companies that have done this have been quite good at is trying to give you those colourful, funky socks. Okay, interesting. The shoes are accurate. There we go. Ekuaz Studio for the win. I think everyone's chatting amongst themselves, but guys, as I said, I don't know if Topo is still planning to progress with theirs. They had talked about doing it. Would be interesting. As I said, they talked more about doing a bit more of like a power pose figure like the Bruce Wayne, so not an articulated figure, so a little bit different. I don't know what the price point would be at, but as I said to you, this being $324 on kit, I was pleasantly surprised for the features we're getting. As I said, silicone body, rooted hair, rolling eyes. You are getting some accessories. I'm not quite sure. It talks about some kind of like backdrop. Like, I don't know if these photos in the background are like a cardboard backdrop you're going to get or not. What do we go back to the... Oh, no. Go back, Helen, not forward. Because we don't really see a backdrop with the this is everything you're getting with the figure. But I'm pretty sure the product outline did talk about some kind of backdrop. So it'd be interesting to see what that is. But this is everything that we're getting. Still getting some key accessories. I don't know that you specifically need a lot more than what we are getting. You've got a couple of the guns, you've got the mask, you've got the detonator, you've got the files. And as I say, I think a lot of it is the figure, the outfit. The dress looks really good. Like, it's got the pink piping as it should. As I said, the Harvey Dent looking like it's actually cloth. Big win. The belt looks like it's the right one. I did kind of look into the outfit a little bit when I was kit bashing mine. But it looks good. And as I say, this dress having the seamless body, it just looks so much better. I really hope those hands blend in well with the skin tone, because again, even here, it's looking like there's a bit of a difference. So I'm hoping that when we have it in hand, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. So as I said, this is one I'm picking up. Keen to know whether you're watching live or in the replay. Are you getting this? What do you think? Were you as surprised and delighted as I was? And again, a huge thank you to everyone who sent this to me and wanted to make sure that I saw this. I am incredibly flattered that people saw this and thought of me and wanted to make sure that I had seen it. So I really appreciate that. Because, yeah, I'm just a random person in Perth, Western Australia. But people are like, no, I need to make sure she's seen it. And as I say, incredibly flattering. I was incredibly flattered by the amount of people who thought of me. Anthony says, this will pair great with my JND Two-Face. Oh, yes. You just need a little hospital bed, some little sheets. I didn't even think of that. That's cool. Just trying to think. I've got my old Hot Toys Two-Face as well that I never sold. I wonder if I could do something with the two of them. Interesting. Austin says, when is this supposed to drop? I think it's Q4 this year. Let me just quickly double check on Kit's website, because the pre-order window was very short. I'm pretty sure the pre-order window was only until like the 25th of August, which I was like, okay, that's actually not a long period of time. So let me I've just got to log into Kit's website. Ekuaz. I hope that's how you say their name. I don't pretend I'm good at the pronunciation. Here we go. It's called the Nurse Clown. Yeah, Q4 2026. So cut off for pre-orders, 25th of August. Available in Q4 2026. So the NRD with kit anyway, that's where I bought mine, not sponsored. Buy it wherever you want to buy it from. NRD with kit was $44. Total price is $324, which again, for what we're getting, I was really quite impressed with. So yeah, they talk about the hands being highly detailed PVC hands, but then the body is kind of this more silicone. So I'm hoping that will blend well. But then it also says a scene display base. Scene display base. What does that mean? Is it just this round thing we're seeing, like the pavement? Is there a backdrop to it? I don't know. You can buy the body on its own for, I think it's $95 US, but again, no hands, no feet, which is not typical. Like normally a seamless body, you'll have feet, you'll have some swap out hands. The boys come with some anatomy. What a treat. Rick's Fixes here. It has been confirmed they will never make a licensed Nurse Heath Ledger Joker. So this is good enough option, but I only really need a purple coat Joker. It's fair enough. And actually, I didn't say that. I think that's what's kind of been interesting to me in this, that people are like, oh, did we really need another Joker? And I'm like, respectfully, you can say that about purple coat Joker. I'll let you say that about bank robber Joker. Nurse and police Joker have not been done for many years. So there has been the odd occasion where I've had to go, listen, Nurse Joker has not been done for a long time, and a lot of people have wanted this. So, again, I would like to see a really nice police Joker as well. The Hot Toys one's not bad. It is an older figure. I still think it looks pretty good. The sort of strap on the rifle for mine is starting to disintegrate, and I do feel like, you know, the way head sculpts have improved, it would be really nice to see a modern take on that sculpt. And it is a different look because it's not a Heath Ledger Joker with the green hair. There's no face makeup. There's brown hair. So I would also love to see someone tackle the police Joker. I kind of wish we didn't have this kind of follow the leader of, you're doing a purple coat Joker, so we're all doing it. You're doing a bank robber, so we're all doing it. Like, we got 4 different looks. There's an opportunity, and particularly if JND is going, oh, licensing's not an issue for that, then why didn't you make Nurse Joker? JND peeps. Why didn't you? Isn't it time for the Jazz Inc. Catwoman to be released? I have no idea. That's right, you tell them respectfully. Again, I'm like, as I said, I'm with you with, do we not have enough purple coat Jokers? I'm also a bit like, did we all need to do bank robber? But Nurse, don't go, did we need this another Joker? No. This is one. I know I'm not the only person that has wanted this. And I feel like the last time this was done, we had CGL Toys and Toys Mom did it. It was a lot of years ago. I want to say 2021-ish, if not sooner. It was a long time ago. We have not had, aside from custom figures, which is a whole other ball game. I know someone recently did a run of custom Nurse Jokers, and that was pricey. It was certainly a lot more expensive than $324 US. So yeah, I kind of don't agree that this falls into the category of, oh, another Joker, and did we need this? Yes, so we needed it, and no, we've not been saturated with this. Collection Obsession says, Nurse Joker already dopoed. Never thought I'd be able to get a decent one in my collection. Me too. I bought a silicone body for my kit bash, and then I realized, like, all the Joker sculpts have a neck, and I didn't want to cut a neck off a sculpt. So I was going, do I send one off to have the neck removed? I didn't want to try to cut the neck of the silicone body, because again, you're then going to see that cut between the neck on the body with this outfit. So I kind of did my best with a World box body that had just like the seamless wrists. But this is what I've kind of wanted to have. So to kind of get this as it's all in the box, nothing custom needed, I'm getting all the key stuff I need. And for a price that I think for what we're getting is pretty good, I'm very happy about this. Austin says, I hope the kids don't put things together too fast. It looks too good. I mean, hopefully the kids at this factory have shorter work days, better work conditions. They get all their holidays and they can really focus on the craftsmanship of this one. It looks so good, guys. I'm so excited. If it comes out in Q4, great. If it doesn't, I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait because, as I say, if it looks as good as this Barbossa, I'm going to be incredibly happy. Spectre says, what are your experiences with Kit? I've never personally got anything from him due to the fact I hear he loads of bad things about his customer service and haven't wanted to take the risk. Oh. So look, as I say, I'm not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I've bought from Kit for a long time. And what I say to people, which I kind of don't get why they flip out about, is I'm like, the guy's legit, pay your deposit and wait for it to be released. There seems to be a real issue with people wanting to then ask for a refund on a non-refundable deposit or question him on things he doesn't know because he's not producing these figures, right? So when it comes out, he doesn't know. And I get it, with all the things he's stocking, he can't constantly, hey, when are you releasing this? Hey, when are you releasing that? So I have never had a problem with Kit. I've actually had some really good customer service with Kit. I had a parcel get stuck in customs for weeks. And I emailed Kit just to go, because it was in limbo, like it hadn't been transferred to Australia Post. It was stuck in customs. And Australia Post was like, we can't do anything, like only the sender can really find out. So I emailed Kit just going, hey, do you know what might be going on? I didn't ask anything, whatever. He's like, I've sent you another one. I'm like, oh, I did not, like, I just wanted, like, to know when it might get delivered. I didn't expect you to do that. I also had a situation that I've talked about in the past where I got the JND Studios John Wick suit. It had a tie pin that doesn't connect securely. Spoiler. I lost the tie pin and I emailed Kit and I said, Kit, I've messed up. I've lost this tie pin. I can't find it. Is there a way I can buy from Kento? Like, I know other people would probably be willing to buy spares. Is there a way I can buy a replacement tie pin? And then in my next order, he sent me a replacement tie pin. Like, so for me, I'm like, I've paid my deposit. I wait for things to come out. I understand the policies. I follow them. I think you get some challenges where, like, customer service in Hong Kong is very different. And I think because I've been there a couple of times, and I laugh because I made this comment on Reddit and got downvoted to hell. And I'm like, respectfully, if you've not been to Hong Kong, don't say I'm wrong. I went to Hong Kong, and do you know what they don't do? American-style customer service. You walk into a shop, this is what's happening when you walk into the shop. I'm behind a desk, and I'm on my iPad or my phone. I'm not even looking at you. You could be robbing me blind. I'm on my device, whatever. You can come and stand at the counter, and I'm still just on my device until you go, hello. So they're not coming up to you as you're browsing. Oh, hi, how you doing? Can I help you? No, that's not a thing. And they don't really want your questions. I know this because I went to a dumpling restaurant, story time with Helen, and there was condiments on the table that I didn't know what they were for. And I asked a question, and the man walked off, and I went, okay. And he came back and just put a instruction thing in front of me. He could have answered my question in less time. And within one day, I'm not joking, one full day in Hong Kong, I went, it's not Kit. It's a cultural thing in Hong Kong. Like, it's very different to service you would get in Australia, particularly in US, where a lot of people working for tips. So as I said, I've never had a problem with him. People, as I say, try to get refunds on NRDs. People try to switch their orders. I get why he gets frustrated. I thought it was interesting that with this Joker, it did say not available to new customers, which was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything on Kit's website say that. So I've never had a problem with him. Some people have. I think if you don't want to buy from 1/6 Kit, I think Giant Toy is another really good option. I've had really good customer service from them as well. But as I said, a lot of the times the things people complain about, sometimes I'm like, but he makes it so clear. If the thing's delayed and you want to cancel, okay, but I'm not giving you back your NRD. It's not going to happen. There's been some situations where I kind of look at it and go, oh, okay, I don't know that that was the right way. But as I said, I've been buying from him for a long time. And the few times I've needed support or I've asked for support, I've gotten it. So my experiences have been pretty good. As I said, I also think Giant Toy is another really good option as well. And they do tend to get a lot of things that Kit does. And for Giant Toy is what I do as my go-to for SooSooToys, because Kit doesn't stock SooSooToys. So I do buy things regularly from Giant Toys, and I've had good experiences from them. Ramstein Fancy, howdy, Helen Shuri in chat. I'll catch the replay, but I'm excited for this. Their Barbosa came out great. Ramstein fan, there's been so much Shuri. International Cat Day is now in Australia. International Cat Day, everyone. Happy International Cat Day. And Shuri was making her presence known. Bless her little furry heart. Austin says, if I'm not mistaken, aren't we missing quite a few Hot Toys that should have been released by now? Great segue, Austin. Appreciate you. No official Hot Toys news, but I thought I would show all the stuff we're waiting for. There's a lot of stuff that is penciled for release in Q3. We've got a few things that were Q2, like Winter Soldier, like Mr. Freeze, like a couple of these Star Wars figures. Even Supergirl is meant to be coming out this quarter. So let's leave this up here to look at while I go through the comments. But yeah, and I think this is what surprised me. Not that there wasn't new announcements this week, but that there were 0 releases. It's quite a bit Hot Toys needs to catch up on. Shout out to Jürgen Schultz, who puts these picture updates together. You see him post these in a lot of collector groups, and I appreciate that he puts these together for us. Figure Fan for Life says, I've received figures from Kit and have loads of POs with him. No problem. Me too. I actually, when I want Jackson Zhu things, I actually order them through Kit, because I find Jackson takes a lot longer than what he says, and it's direct PayPal. It's not goods and services often. So I actually, even for things like the capes, I'll get them via Kit, because I feel like I'll get them and I won't have to wait, because I know people who've ordered direct from Jackson and they've waited a really long time. Whereas I know when I've ordered them through Kit, I've not been waiting as long. Shout out to Kit. He's pretty cool. Yeah, I think he's, as I say, I like Kit. Helen, I can't understand how you're not sponsored. Tim Tams are totally dropping the ball. I know, aren't it? I could be the brand ambassador of your dreams, aren't it? Just give me a shot, man. Love a Tim Tam. They're so good. Collection Obsession says, I mistakenly double pre-ordered a figure at 1/6 Kit and they understood my mistake and refunded my deposit. See? Not 100% unreasonable. Or a Terry sponsorship, just saying. Well, I mean, Terry's do a chocolate mint. Orange shaped, but choc mint. Not dark choc mint, which is my preference, but they still do it. Just don't be a flake with Kit and he'll be cool with you. 1,000%. Blur Dad Life says, I've had good experience with Kit, no issues so far. AC Toyman says, yeah, the Mars Toys Black Manta going on 4 years and Kit says it's coming. Yeah, I have the RCN Toys John Wick head sculpt. I don't know how many years overdue that is. I don't even think RCN Studios is still a thing. I'm just gonna wait. Spectre says, thanks everyone. You are welcome. Cylon, what's the difference between this new InArt Superman and the previous InArt Superman? They're from different movies. One is from BVS and one is from Man of Steel. Different head sculpts. I'm assuming some slight differences in the suit. Same, slightly different. No, it's got to be an orange sponsorship or it's a no-go. No, they don't want me. No one peddling orange chocolate wants me, and that's fine. I don't want them either. So this is what we're hoping and dreaming we'll start seeing released from Hot Toys very soon. As I said earlier, a lot of people waiting with anticipation for Artisan Bucky. I'm also waiting in anticipation for Mr. Freeze. We got some really cool figures. A lot of Artisan figures we're waiting on. We've got the Bank Robber Joker. Is it Anakin? Is it Darth Vader? We've got some Kenobis. Age of the Apocalypse Wolverine is in there as well. We've got our ballerina John Wick. We've got a couple of the Death Stranding figures. We've got the rest of the Fantastic Four. The Suicide Squad 1 Harley Quinn, again, another Artisan figure we're waiting for. There's a lot. There's a lot that we want. I am keen to see how that Supergirl comes out. I'm hoping that looks as good as the convention images have been. So let's see. Hot Toys, hopefully they give us some newsy news next week. Before we go, it's International Cat Day right now in Australia. It's the 8th of August for everyone else. And Shuri's an international cat. She's internationally known. So I thought I'd just pop a couple little photos in here of Shuri because, you know, you just see her magnificent tail, but now you can see her pretty face. She's got big eyes and big feelings like her mum. And she does. She likes to look at the collection. Look at her. Look at her staring at the Arrowverse shelf with a little tail there. She likes to get involved. She likes to help. So again, if you have a cat, if you're owned by a cat, extra treats and extra pats for International Cat Day, please. Look at her. She's so cute, my little Shuri. Austin says, I want my Hot Toys Winter Soldier figure. Me too. I want it so much. Because particularly I want it to release now, so I've got a chance of getting it by the end of the year. If it does not release soon, I don't think I'm getting it in 2026. So, yeah. Shout out to Shuri. Thank you. She's so cute. Happy Cat Day, Shuri. Made it to the live stream. What did I miss? Nothing. We're just talking about International Cat Day and everybody's favorite international cat, Shuri. Because she's so cute and she's made many cameos. Keith, you've tuned in just in time for me to sign out. Hope you're doing well. Anthony says you can add a viewer's pet segment to your stream and share our own pet pics. Oh, I could do like pet of the week and snack of the week. Love her looking at the figures. Yeah, she hops in cabinets. She hopped in with Deadpool and Wolverine when I had them in my collection. She's hopped in with the Jokers. I think I have on my YouTube shorts, I have a couple of Shuri figures. So in addition to the members videos, in my shorts, I think I've got a picture of her in the Joker display, and then I've got a picture of her biting my Avengers 1 Loki, fun fact. She's normally really good with figures, but she took offense to Loki. But it's okay, look at her. My little tabby. She's so cute. International Cat Day, tell your friends. That's the ends of the slides. It's the end of the newsy news. It's here. We've not gone 3 hours this week, so Saturday Helen, not so mad at Friday Helen this week because, you know, we're going to wrap up at not post 1 a.m. So as I said, guys, a bit of an interesting week. Nothing from Hot Toys, but a lot of news from other companies. If you're watching in the replay, really keen to know your thoughts on the JND statues, on the Nurse Joker, the InArt Man of Steel figure, how are we feeling about that? The Mars toys. Dick Grayson. Did not have that on my bingo card. There were some pretty cool things this week if you're a DC fan. And as I said at the top of the show, we don't often get our moments in the sun as DC fans, but this week was a pretty good week for us. So I'm very appreciative for that. So guys, please hit the like button on the way out. I'd appreciate it. I get views and people don't like. And I'm like, what don't you like about cute little Shuri and her tail? Drop her a like. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Hopefully Hot Toys releases some stuff. That would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? I have no idea when my next unboxing will be. I keep debating getting the Mars toys. Let's Get Nuts, Mr. W. Maybe I'll get that and we'll unbox it. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Keith says the third hour is safe for me and recapping the first 2 hours. I don't know that my voice is going to hold out for that. Austin said, I forgot to mention I'm going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day movie this weekend. Oh, nice. I hope you enjoy it when you see it. I saw it last week. Figure Fanfly says, hope you have a fantastic weekend. Another great stream. Thanks so much. Always a good couple hours. Thank you for coming to hang out. I know it's quite early for you, Figure Fan for Life, so I'm very impressed that you're up so early and choose to watch me. Great stream, Helen. Thank you, Collection Obsession. Appreciate you. Mitchell Lawrence says the T2 Endo, Ballerina Wick, and Jungle Hunter Predator are coming home. I have the Ballerina Wick on pre-order too. Ordered that from Kit. That's 3 very nice figures. That's very cool. Austin says, I already hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mike says, thanks, Helen. Catch you next week. Consistent Cousin is here every Friday. Fine, I'll catch the replay, lol. Have a great weekend. Oh my God, you know what I didn't do, guys? Don't forget, tomorrow, today for me now, InArt live stream.
So, the earlier you... Whoa.
Who knows what will happen on an InArt live stream? How did I not think to play the clip? I feel so bad. I'm going to play it again.
So, the earlier you... Whoa.
Who doesn't love the InArt clip? Aren't you so glad I clipped that? What a treat. Peace out, Helen. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Austin. You too. Mitchell says, love cats. I'm a multi-cat owner. Oh, nice. I just have little Shuri. I don't know how she would go with another cat. Akira says, watching Brand New Day tomorrow. Great stream and enjoy the weekend. Well, I hope you enjoy the movie. Everyone loves everyone's here for the clip. Aren't you glad you hung around right to the end? I can't believe no one requested it. Lol, that's my clip. The clip never gets old. One more time. Why not? One more time. Let's do it. Let's do it. Where's the clip?
So, the earlier you... Whoa.
I always love that the camera pans to where the figure fell rather than panning away. You know, I'm not watching those streams for many, many reasons, but yeah. Carefully play it again. Skynet will send a Terminator back in time for you. Sure. InArt live stream is when the creepy collectors come out to hit the host. Oh my, hit on the host. That's part of the reason I can't watch them, Kate. And InArt keeps just not changing the format or not having someone filter it out. And there's so much innuendo that those poor young women, I don't think they fully understand. But I'm like, can we not? Can we just not? Yeah, it's a lot. Her expression is funny. Poor thing had no clue what to do. The best thing is when she says, oh, I know. Because what are you going to do? I genuinely don't know that they know a lot about figures and the products. Because, again, like, they're doing their best. And this is not a criticism of these young women. It's a criticism of InArt. The Supergirl stream, like, someone asked about Crypto, and someone behind the camera had to say Crypto's the dog. Like, where's John for these streams? Where's someone who knows more about the product? Why don't we have someone filtering the comments and picking the questions and doing it that way? Like, someone to moderate. Let's not just read every comment that comes through. Lol, creepy collectors. It's true, sadly. There are some creepy people. A lot of lovely people as well. A lot of lovely people. That's gross. Some of those comments to the poor girl, then she reads them. Yikes. I know. That's why I can't watch them. It's a great thing. You can get the transcript. You can use technology and get a nice summary. And that's what I typically tend to do. When she says no, it gets me every time. Didn't get the joke. Not a fan of Sci-Fi Terminator. I know, not really. I can't even remember the last time I've seen the movie. So apologies. At the very least, please protect the young women who have to endure the sick idiots in the chat. That's what gets me. I'm like, they've done how many live streams and it keeps happening. And they're like, let's not change anything. Let's just keep doing the same thing. I'm not a fan. No kidding. There you go. Figure fan for life. Liked your joke, Mitchell. It's also midnight. I'm tired. Chris Collectible says they should improve their live streams to a production style sort like how Sideshow has done in the past. There's no need for 2 or 4 hours of streaming one figure. I agree, and I kind of wish they had a bit more like prepared talking points. Hi, welcome to the stream. We're showing you this. This is what it comes with. This is what it's made of. These are the product features. Maybe they have some prepared Q&A, or they take Q&A for a short period of time, because they're just repeating and there's no structure to it. It could be a much shorter, sharper production than what it is. And with the Supergirl, they did 2 2-hour streams. I was not spending 4 hours watching that. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. No, they don't. They're just like the kids show up for work and follow the instructions. Yeah, I don't know, on the streams. Anyways, that's there. If you want to watch InArt on the streams, have at it. Helen will not be doing that. Helen will be waiting for Dick Grayson to go on pre-order and for all these amazing figures to arrive, and hopefully some newsy news from Hot Toys. Did you see the Factory Entertainment released images of their Ian Malcolm and Alan Grant from Jurassic Park? Yikes. I haven't seen the recent photos. I know I looked at some photos with Costa on Two Greek Geeks. They would have been great figures 10 years ago based on what I saw. So I haven't really been following Factory Entertainment, but I did note people asking Topo if they were still doing some of their Jurassic Park or their Jurassic Park figure. So I don't know. As I say, when I looked at some pictures with Costa, it was they looked like figures that you would have thought were amazing like 10 years ago. Peace out, Austin. Just released 50 minutes ago. Then I definitely didn't see it because I've been here for 2 hours and 18 minutes. So no, have not seen them. But I'm going to sign off, guys. Again, thank you so much for coming to hang out. If you could like the stream, appreciate it. I think the new thing is hyping. I don't know what that is. Hype if you like. If you don't, that's fine. 10 years is being generous. I mean, some people call me negative, so maybe, no, it's fine. We won't get into that. Bye, everyone. See you later, Spectre. Thank you for coming to hang out. Guys, I'll be back same time, same place, next Friday, consistent cousin. Have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to seeing you then. See ya.